Hello everyone, it's TX141 here, and today I'm bringing you something a little bit different in terms of commentary. Instead of bringing you a live commentary, the Cobra Corsair series, I'm bringing you my review of War Thunder. My review is going to be taken with respect to arcade battles and just the game in general, what I've found after just over 300 hours of gameplay. Right, so to begin with, War Thunder. When I first came to War Thunder, I'd never played a flight simulator or a game which involved aircraft, to be honest. I played one on the PlayStation 2, I think it was called Heroes of the Pacific, and funny enough this game reminds me of it a lot. But I'd never actually played a sort of flight simulator for the computer or anything along those lines. And so, I was pretty inexperienced. I remember watching my dad when I was a little boy play his Jane's Combat Simulators, and they were impressive. He used to let me go in a P-51D and chase down C-47 Dakota transports. That's all about the experience I had. So, to begin with my inexperience, I thought War Thunder sounds good because I've seen a number of YouTubers who I follow regularly. I don't need to give the names away here. But I saw them playing it and I thought, let's give it a try. I mean, it reminded me in a way of World of Tanks, which I used to play quite regularly, but I've given up on World of Tanks for a bit at the moment. But that's a digression. So I came in and I saw we had all these lovely reserve aircraft, and I thought to myself, okay, this is not what I expected. I thought I'd be flying Spitfires non-stop all the time and whatnot. So I went out in the reserves. I gave the Russians, the Germans... I gave the Yanks a go first in the Pea-shooters. Hated them to bits, although I got to a Kitty Hawk, and now I decided to fly the biplanes of the Russians, the Germans, the Japs and the Brits, and I had more fun there. And as I was playing, I couldn't even get a kill in half the games to begin with. I was terrible, let's put it that way. So as the games progressed and I gradually got better and I started actually getting a kill for each plane I lost, I started getting some more planes such as the Spitfire Mark 1 and planes along those lines. I thought that my skills were developing, and as I went up the ranks I thought, well, the competition's going to get fiercer. But to be honest, once I'd not mastered, but once I got a bit better at flying the biplanes and reserve aircraft, I didn't feel as worried anymore because I knew what the general tricks were, I knew what an Immelmann turn was, I knew what the split S was. This is with reference to arcade, of course, no other mode. And I felt more at ease with the game itself. And what I loved about the game was, when I bought these new aircraft, I mean, I already knew from the reserve aircraft that I didn't have to pay for repairs. But when I bought these new aircraft, I had 10 free repairs, and I was thinking to myself, well, they must expect me to smash these planes into the ground at first. And sure enough, I smashed a few of them into mountains. I put one into a bridge support, took the whole bridge out, mind you. I was trying to fly as low as possible, and I can't remember the map now. But yeah. Oh, and I forgot to say at the start of this, the gameplay in the background that you're watching is a 7-0 Spitfire Mark II gameplay on the Airfield Domination map Mozdok, which we eventually do win, and I'm just having a good time with the Spitfire Mark II. A plane which I do love to fly about when I get bored, although I find it's called Activate Easy Mode in this plane some days, as you can see in the background. But I digress once more. So going back, smashed a few planes into the bridges, used up my free repairs, but as I was doing that, I was getting acquainted with some of the planes. My first favourite plane would have to be the Lag 335. I loved that plane to bits. And I started playing in patch 1.29, just to give you guys some reference, when the Lag 335 was a rank 3, not a rank 4 plane. But moving on, I found that the game was incredibly approachable, and it still is at the moment, and I was learning something new every time. And I learned very quickly from the low rank biplanes and monoplanes that altitude means a lot. If you don't have a fighter which can outturn everything, such as the Japanese Ki-43 Hayabusa Oscar, if you can't outturn it, you're going to need an altitude advantage to grant yourself a little bit more energy so you can boom and zoom or make a turn and burn manoeuvre. And so, as a result, instead of sticking with one set of planes, sticking with the Americans, I just started ranking up with everything. And I had to go with the Kitty Hawk. I hated that to pieces. I'm starting to enjoy it a bit more now. I had to go with some of the Japanese planes, the Ki-43, which you've probably seen on my YouTube channel if you're a regular watcher. And in the end, I was just picking up these techniques, and it's all culminated in the gameplays I'm doing at the moment, where I'm either boom and zooming, or I'm doing turn and burn with altitude advantage, such as here with this Aerocobra, where I swing over him and just use the turn ability of the Spitfire to nail him in one go. Here we go. Bing. But anyway, that's what I love about this game. It's just you can approach the game on a clear head. You don't have to play it regularly to learn some new tricks of the trade. I know arcade battles, a lot of people condemn them for the unrealistic flight models, which yes, I'm starting to play historic battles now. The flight models are completely different, but I don't have enough experience in historical battles to be able to give you a review based on that as well. When I do, I'll have historical gameplay in the background, but that's a long way off yet because I've only had about 50 flyouts in historical and I haven't even managed half the number of kills in terms of aircraft kills. But anyway, what I also find about this game is that I hear the rumours of bias towards one plane, bias towards this plane, but I've never really gone into a plane, even the ones that get used less in arcade mode as I've ranked up. So, to give you an example, the P-47D Thunderbolt, which is used a lot less in the fighter role. It's used as the ground attack with its bomb load and its rocket load. I've never found a fighter that can't be used. Even the P-38G Lockheed Lightning, I've never had trouble having fun with the plane. Sometimes it's difficult to get more than one kill with it before it gets shot down, but I've never found myself disappointed or angry. I mean, there used to be this massive thing about the Yak-9T being overpowered to bits, so I bought myself one after grinding up to rank 8 in the USSR, and I found, well, it was quite powerful, but it still had its weaknesses. And with all the planes in this game, they all have their own weaknesses. Some of them are all-rounders, i.e. jack of all trades, master of none. Some of them are energy fighters and some of them are turn fighters. And you just have to adapt accordingly. And that's the... If I had to sum up War Thunder in one phrase, it would be adapt accordingly for arcade battles. Just because every plane's different. So moving on from my basic synopsis of what it's about, I'm going to now talk about the different planes available. As I said, you've got energy fighters, you've got the turn and burn fighters, and things along those lines, but you've also got access to ground attack crafts, such as the Illusion 2, Illusion 10. You've also got bombers, high altitude and dive bombers, the Dauntlesses, we've got Wellingtons, we've got B-17s, and I fly those every so often, and they seem a daunting prospect because you'll have an enemy fighter come up to you and try shooting you down, but then you go into the chat and you try and get someone to cover you, you ask for cover, or you squad up with a friend of yours who plays, or squad up with your clan mates if you happen to join a clan, and they can escort you. So really, this game always caters for the needs of the player. Not in the sense of turning it into easy mode and letting you just get hundreds and millions of kills and thousands of bits of XP, but there's never a moment where you think this game's being unfair to you. If you fly a bomber, you can ask someone to cover you, and I know the majority of players are made out to be kill-hungry arcade battles players, but there are some, including myself, which if you do ask for cover, we will provide it, just because we'll have fun doing it in the process. It's teamwork. You might take out the base and we'll be smiling back to base knowing that we won that game because we worked together. And I found that teamwork throughout War Thunder is not absent, but it's not there just because how the reward system works. This is my only sort of condemnation of War Thunder, is that the reward system is brilliant, however it lacks an aspect which encourages teamwork. I wouldn't expect it to halve your XP per se if your team lost the match, because this game rewards you for what you did and then gives you a small bonus if your team won, which I think is a brilliant way of encouraging players who are doing well but just don't win because they didn't kill the last ground target with their Dauntless or TBF Avenger. Or the Junkers 87, it just encourages the players to know that you were doing it right, you just didn't have the perfect team to pull off the rest, or you just couldn't do it all for your team. And that's what I love about this game, is that you can play at your own pace because the reward system works to your pace. You get rewarded for the kills, you get rewarded for the hits you perform, rather than only being rewarded what you did if your team won. And I will mention the game I'm referring to here is the reason why I left World of Tanks is because of that. Because yes, it rewards you for what you did, but it has this multiplier, a significant multiplier if you win the game, which can be a bit disheartening after you've played hundreds of games, you're getting used to the formula, and you're just not earning the XP because you're working yourself to death, you're carrying the game, and your team just loses it. But we're not here to talk about that, and we're coming towards the end of this match, and in a minute I'm probably going to be telling, I think, all the players in this match to smile for YouTube, because I was thinking at this point I'm going to put this up and do a review to it for something different. But no, War Thunder is a very approachable game, and you can pick up arcade mode quite easily. The only thing I'd recommend is never expect to have it all your own way at first. There's a number of people who've come over from the other flight sims who have a lot more experience, so yes, they'll probably be able to have it all their own way to an extent, but once you spend some time with this game, take it easy and just enjoy the game for what it is. I play every arcade battle as if it's a historical battle, and I try and go for flawless runs and get 5 kills or more in every game I play. Just play the game for what it is, upgrade your planes, get to the planes you want to get to, and just enjoy the game. Because that's how I'm doing it, and I love this game to bits for it. I have no hate towards this game. No, sorry, I have no hatred, I should rephrase that, towards this game in any way. When I first started, I thought I would, because it was a tough learning curve. As I said, you got to learn the tactics and adapt accordingly. But now I'm at this point in the game and I'm moving on to historical battles, I'm starting a whole new learning curve, and one that hopefully I'll gradually make my way towards the flatter end of as the time progresses. But anyway, here's the score sheet. I've been TX141, and I hope you'll have a nice day, safe flying, and good luck in the skies.